Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Apothecary and welcome back to my channel.
Today I'm here to talk about Finding Me by Viola Davis. This is a memoir and I listened to the audiobook version of this. My general thoughts is that this is one of the best celebrity memoirs, or really memoirs in general, that I've ever read. This book was just so darn good. It is definitely a top favorite read of 2025 for me. And despite not having a lot in common with Viola Davis, I still found myself reflecting on my own life while listening to this book. And honestly, throughout this whole experience reading this book, all I wanted to do, even when I wasn't reading it, was just sit down and read it. There were times where I was at work and I just kept thinking about the book, and times when I'm trying to get to sleep and I just wanted to keep reading. And that is a mark of a truly great book. My spoiler-free summary for Finding Me comes directly from the Goodreads description because I loved that it is in Viola Davis's own words. She describes her own book. This is kind of like her elevator pitch for this book, so bear with me, but I loved it so much I had to include the whole thing. Well, maybe not the whole thing. I think I left off the second paragraph. In my book, you will meet a little girl named Viola who ran from her past until she made a life-changing decision to stop running forever. This is my story, from a crumbling apartment in Central Falls, Rhode Island, to the stage in New York City and beyond. This is the path I took to finding my purpose, but also my voice in a world that didn't always see me. As I wrote Finding Me, my eyes were opened to the truth of how our stories are often not given close examination. We are forced to reinvent them to fit into a crazy, competitive, judgmental world. So I wrote this for anyone running through life, untethered, desperate and clawing their way through murky memories, trying to get to some form of self-love. For anyone who needs reminding that a life worth living can only be born from radical honesty and the courage to shed facades and be you. And I love that description of this book. There's more that the Goodreads goes into, but it's more like this is a best-selling memoir written by award-winning actress, that kind of accolades, and this felt much more honest and real to me, and it's in her own words. Now, I'm going to talk about this book in 4 different aspects. We've got a writing style. For me, the prose was so honest and raw and everything that I never knew I needed. This had Viola Davis's voice all throughout it. There was no doubt that she wrote this herself. You could tell. This was no ghostwriter. This was Viola Davis through and through. We've got content. This is deep and very hard emotionally to read at times. It is not for the faint at heart, but it is so well done. I loved Viola Davis's candor and honesty in writing this and the content she included. She didn't hold back on anything or anyone that I could tell. And her drive and her perseverance for me is inspiring after reading this book. Enjoyment. It made me cry multiple times, but I loved every minute of it. I will definitely be rereading this probably multiple times, and it was just so inspiring to read. Let's talk about the audiobook, because Viola Davis narrates this herself, and she reads this with such passion and force and humility that you can't help but be moved while listening to this. Her pacing was great. I listened at a 1.45 speed, which is a really great speed to listen to. It gives you time to reflect on what you're reading, but also it's not a tortoise-paced book. As you can tell, I absolutely loved Finding Me by Viola Davis. If you're looking for a great memoir and also a great audiobook, highly recommend this. I can't recommend this book enough. I went straight to work and recommended this to like 3 or 4 people I knew that read at work. I loved it that much. I talked to John about it a bunch while I was reading it. When I finished it, it was just so well done. If you want to see my full written review, you can find the link in the description below. If you've read this book, let me know what you thought in the comments below. As always, keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back.